Good morning, evening, afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Indoor Hunter, and we're back with a rather unique video, I think. So, I've been very conflicted for a long time now. I've been playing this game for a long time. I've got well over, I think I'm approaching 3,000 hours on Xbox. However, I also play PC games, and I've had the Hunter Call of the Wild on PC for quite some time, and I've always kind of wrangled with myself. Should I invest or sink a bunch of time into Hunter on the PC, or should I continue grinding everything out on the Xbox? And so I decided to make a video tonight of kind of comparing and contrasting the differences between the console version of the game and the PC version. Now, obviously, I'd like to hear your guys' input, so what you guys think I should do, let me know in the comments below, because I truly am conflicted. I'm not sure if I should just say, you know what, let's start from scratch, let's go over to the PC side of things, go from there, or should I just stick to console, keep the grind up. Right now, I'm actually in my trophy lodge on my main account, which is what I call my Xbox account, my main account, because I have streamed a few times, and I've made a few videos from the PC. On the PC account, I'm not a complete noob, but I'm not level 60 yet. There's still a lot of things I need to unlock, and money obviously is hard to come by. So I do think it would be fun to experience that again, kind of re-going through the grinding steps of making money, experience, and all that stuff. However, I do feel like I'm losing out on the time and effort I've put in on my main account, and that's kind of the biggest point of contention for me of switching completely over to PC. Because I'll be honest with you, as far as streaming goes and making videos and everything else, like recording quality, all of that, it's much better and much easier on PC. But I feel like it is unique to have someone with a YouTube presence, with a Twitch presence on console, because you don't see that a lot. And I'd like to make a major caveat here on this discussion. This is not a debate on console versus PC as far as gaming goes. This is a discussion of the minutia between the Hunter Call of the Wild on console and on PC. Both systems, I believe, have very distinct advantages over one another. And I'm going to try to make enough comparisons in this video to kind of show you those minute details in between. And realistically, this is nothing more than a tool for you, the viewer, to kind of help me decide, do I want to jump ship from console to PC full time, or should I stick to console, or what I should really do, because I don't know. That being said, we're going to hang out in the trophy lodge for a little bit longer and kind of discuss just right up front the things that I noticed between the two systems. So this is actually being recorded on a console right now. I'm using an Elgato capture card. It is an HD60 Plus S or HD60S Plus. I can't remember the nomenclature. However, the downside to that is the Xbox is capable of running this game at 4K. However, it only allows me to record at 1080p. So keep that in mind. As far as graphics go, it is really hard for me to see a difference between the two games, simply because of that fact. You need a really beefy system to be able to run 4K on PC, and the Xbox is able to do that. Now, granted, there's probably some minor differences that I may not have even noticed until I run this side-by-side comparison. Part of this video making process is curiosity on my own part to see if I can actually see the differences, because, like I said, graphically, and usually when the discussion of console versus PC, that's kind of the number one thing, is graphics. And honestly, guys, I cannot tell a difference between the two. This game's gorgeous on both systems, and in some cases, I think it does look better on Xbox simply because of that 4K texture. Now, that being said, I do notice the color, if that makes sense, is a little bit better on PC. I don't know. Again, that'll be that's complete, user preference. That'll be up for you guys to decide what you think on that. Now, a big major difference, though, as far as gameplay, is the inventory management. On PC, it is leaps and bounds, much higher, much better. Obviously, mouse and keyboard. I feel like this game was truly meant for mouse and keyboard, not necessarily controller. Now, the new update and the new radio wheel for console does make it a lot easier, a lot better, but mouse and keyboard still, you know, in all honesty, if they were to make keyboard compatible on console, I think that would kind of seal the deal for me. That's one of my biggest points of contention, because the playability of the game is so much easier on PC, because that controller does make it harder. That being said, I mean, I'm used to playing it. You know, I have no issues playing with controller, but man, whenever you go, it's like driving a jalopy on the console, and then you jump over to PC, and it's like being in a Ferrari. You're like, oh, okay, I can swap, I can hot swap, I can hotkey, I can just push a button and boom, I instantly switch a weapon or two. It's much better in that aspect. The other discussion is frame rate. That is a very big noticeable difference. When you're running 60 FPS on Call of the Wild versus 30, you can feel it and you can sense it. Now, as far as like, is that an advantage? No. I think, again, that's one of those user preference things. If you're nitpicky about that sort of thing, you get used to both very quickly. It's more noticeable if you go from console than jump immediately over to PC, which I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be able to notice it very quickly. I don't know if you guys will be able to, because, again, the recordings are at 60 FPS. And then, obviously, when you upload it to YouTube, it is going to compress it, and then it's going to change it over to, I think YouTube's FPS is like 25 or something like that. I don't know. So that's going to be one of those differences that you guys aren't going to be able to, I think, really see. So just kind of, you know, bear that in mind, and believe me when I tell you the FPS is better on PC, but it's not a deal breaker, if that makes any sense. Anyway, without further ado, I'll stop jibber yappering, and we'll get some footage for you, and let me know what you think in the comments below. And to kind of conclude the video here, we've got a list of what I personally think that each system does better than the other. Under console here, we've got buying multiple items. What I mean by that is, like, when you need to go buy ammunition, for example, on the PC, you need to click the ammunition type and then click buy. Click the ammunition type, click buy. I could be doing that wrong. I don't know. If I am, let me know in the comments below. But as far as Xbox go, you just hammer that select button and you can buy hundreds of rounds very quickly. Stealth movement on console, it is infinitely better than on PC. You can move almost dead silent with using thumbsticks or the joysticks. You can literally traverse the map without making any noise, whereas on the PC, good luck. Mouse and keyboard, you're not doing that unless you like type the W or tap the W key really fast. You're not sneaking around like you can on console. Quick resume. So I've got the Xbox Series X. Quick resume is applicable with Hunter Call of the Wild, and it is so convenient. So when you're done for the night, you just shut her down. The next day, you're literally instantly right where you left off. That's pretty awesome. The Call of the Wild is on my PC, is loaded on an SSD. It's not even that fast. So the Xbox is actually much faster as far as loading times too on the PC, which is surprising to me, but that's the case. Also, as far as console goes, it does run 4K, and honestly, it looks stunning. Now, I know it's kind of hard to tell that because everything's recorded at 1080p. That being said, so let's flip over to the PC side. The inventory management literally almost seals the deal, to be quite honest with you. Being able to hotkey items and simply press a number 1 or number 2 to select weapons, and even with the weapon wheel that was implemented to consoles, it's still far superior. And it makes the user experience so easy that it's almost like, I kind of just want to play PC because of that. Honestly, if they were to make console mouse and keyboard compatible on Hunter, I would probably not even be having this discussion. Weapon accuracy, obviously, mouse. It's much more accurate, much easier to maintain and control. Obviously, Hunter on Xbox does not have any sort of aim assist or anything like that, and so it takes a lot of practice to get good accuracy in that game. More minute things here on the PC I did notice as I was editing the footage, and I could see the direct side-by-side comparisons. The colors do seem brighter on PC, and they're like less subdued. I don't know what that is. It could just simply because it's using a higher it's not HDMI, for example. It's DisplayPort, so there's more colors available. I don't know what that is. And then obviously frame rates are much higher on PC, and when you're used to one or the other, you definitely notice the FPS. Most of the time, whenever I'm playing on console, I don't notice it until I switch over to PC, and then I'm like, oh, this feels like butter smooth. Okay. So it's a pretty significant difference. Now, is it game breaking? No, absolutely not. That is not a deal breaker. However, it is a convenient and it is a win for the PC side of things. Again, I say that it's not a competition, but that's where we're at with it. Another thing here, I don't have it listed, but what's really awesome about the PC is the camera in the game is actually functional. Whenever you take a picture in the game, it takes an actual screenshot. I wish they would implement that on console. Right now, that isn't a thing, and so whenever you go to take a picture of the camera, it does nothing. If you want to take a screenshot, you've got to do it, with the Xbox share button or whatever. I'm not sure what PlayStation's is. But that being said, for me, let me know what you guys think. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. If you want to see more videos like this or something, any more comparisons of the games, let me know. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So I'll see you in the next one.